What's going on, people? You're locked into episode 6 of the 3Ps on a Pod podcast with your girl Chats with Pat,
your boy Mills,
and your boy Life of Tea.
Okay, so obviously over the last couple of days it's come to light that unfortunately Caroline Flack has taken her life, and I think there's a whole host of kind of conversation that's happening and that's going on around AM1, kind of people that's chatting about how she did that. That's happening in the background, but also the BN2 as to kind of why and what was going on that led to her feeling as though that was her out. So I think we kind of wanted to discuss that in its entirety, because I know what I've been seeing around and conversations and things being called to be shut down and all of that kind of jazz. So I think that we just wanted to kind of have a conversation about what's been going on and what went wrong moving forward. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to open it up. Talk to me. What's happening? Chat to me.
I suppose to give a little bit of context, obviously she was the presenter of Love Island for how many? 4 or 5 seasons. And she was unfortunately taken off the show due to some elements of domestic violence charges that were being put against her between her and her partner.
With her as the perpetrator. Just
her as the perpetrator, yeah. But again, there's elements allegedly, because from what I've gathered, from what I've read, he was saying that it wasn't so serious, it wasn't that bad. But there was quite a few pictures that were put online in terms of the actual scene and stuff like that. After that, she wasn't doing the show anymore. She had to step down, and then from that point there was quite a lot of let's say vicious messages or posts about her, which is quite common in regards to online. That's Twitter and that's trolling. Obviously, unfortunately, she felt the need to do what she did. It is really horrible because you just don't see stuff like that coming, and you don't really understand why people do what they do until you're in that situation yourself. And I think it's just a case that there needs to be a bit more policing. I think that seems to be the conversation that's happening at this moment in time. Policing troll accounts, because there are so many of them, and some of the wicked things that people say is crazy. And you need to have a tough skin to be active and be popular on social media. That's definitely a fact, because it can turn on you in a second. But yeah, rest in peace to her, not for real.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like that, just because something interesting, I feel like that it's twofold in terms of blame, because I feel like in these situations people want to appoint blame to somebody as to why this has happened or how this has happened and things like that. And there's a lot of conversation about trolling and troll accounts and all of that kind of stuff, but I think the biggest kind of conversation that I'm hearing, which I think is super important, is the media in this whole kind of shitty onslaught of abuse and being completely unrelenting in this woman's life and the role that they played. Because, and I think what's pissed me off is that they do this. They were on her like flies around shit for months. They would not give this woman a break, and then she died, and then all of a sudden, R.I.P. What do you mean? Because if she didn't die tomorrow, you probably would have wanted to print that her court case was coming up, and you wanted to do that, and now that she's ended her life, it's RIP and and I feel like there was I don't know if you guys saw it, Steph Davis, she was on Hollyoaks and she was in the Big Brother house, and she has a lot of negative press as well. She released kind of an IG video talking about the role that the media has played in Caroline's death, and she was saying she went in, to be fair, and I agree with her. She was saying that there is blood on the media's hands and that there needs to be some kind of regulation about what the media, which I think we talked about when we were talking about Kobe and TMZ printing stuff and there needs to be some kind of regulation about what they're able to print from what they're not, because in the modern day they're able to print whatever they want, whether it's fact or not, and the implications that what they say and what they print has on people such as Caroline Flack. And I think she's 100% right in what she's saying about that there needing to be that conversation and there needing to be change. But I think, I suppose when I was thinking about it the other day, I was thinking, well, do you know what? it's all well and good for us to appoint blame to the media and all of that kind of jazz. But I think we also, as general human beings, have to take on board our role in that as the human condition, because it's about supply and demand.
Yeah.
So if the papers weren't selling and the TMZs and shaving weren't getting the views and there would be no demand, and therefore the supply might dry up a little bit. But we want to pick up the news when it says did X, Y, and Z, and as opposed to the positive, nice things are happening, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
We want to pick up when we hear that Caroline Flack assaulted So I think there's something in the human condition in terms of what we want. So we can't just say that that's all where blame is. In this scenario, when I'm thinking about what's been happening, I think that, yeah, that is certainly something that we as a people need to think about, the roles that we play in perpetuating the problems that the media are helping also to perpetuate. I guess is long. I just said a lot of words. So many words.
To touch on that, it's just like you're saying that we touch into what the media are saying and stuff. Not only do we touch onto it, a lot of people do worse than that, because they then push it forward and take it to a next level. Because like I said, I didn't know who Caroline Flack was because I didn't watch Love Island before all this stuff was. But I seen her trending on Twitter when the first allegation come out, and I think there was a picture of a lamp and blood on the sheets and stuff like that. I didn't know what the hell I didn't know what was going on. But the amount of people I seen just calling her, retweeting stuff, saying bare shit about her, just for retweets and laughs, innit? But I was saying, people now I'm seeing on my Twitter saying, people need to check on mental health, and it's so sad, and RIP to her. I'm like, you were the same people that were talking shit and retweeting the same fuckery. So I don't understand why now it's when someone says where you want to act like you know her and you're all empathetic and that. Like, I really don't get it. I
think we live in
I really don't get it.
A reactionary society in which people wait until it's too late before they really start thinking about their behaviour. I think when we look at the media, that machine's too far gone and it's too powerful, the way I see it. They're not really going to regulate it in any way, shape or form. And if I'm being entirely honest, did they do anything incorrect by delivering the story in which she's done or allegedly done whatever? They've reported it. They've done that with many other people. Now, the problem after that is it's so easy online to just basically call someone whatever you want to call them or send them a death threat from a random account, and we're not really understanding the effects of that. So what we really need to look at is the social media element, because we look at it all the time. We're always on social media, and at the end of the day, if you see something trending, that's fine, but there's poisonous people out there because they're hidden behind they're hidden behind a mask. So when you're hidden behind a mask, they feel like they can do whatever they want to do.
Say whatever.
Now, I saw someone tweet something about verification on accounts. So literally allowing it so one person can only have one account. You'd have to provide information in regards to identification, maybe a passport or a driver's license or whatever. So at least then you're held accountable for whatever happens on that account. That might be your solution to the problem, because at the end of the day, if Joe Blogs down there isn't brave enough to kind of say whatever they want to say to said person, they're just going to chat whatever rubbish that they want on their Twitter, and it's not going to be offensive or it's not going to hurt people. But imagine going through a scenario and then getting death threats every single day saying that you're not worth anything or blah blah blah. That's always going to have an effect on, no matter how tough skinned you are, that's going to have an effect on someone. So it's more the policing, the media thing. As much as I would like it to be controlled to a certain extent, it's too far gone. And realistically, I don't think the media are to blame in this scenario. It's the effects of dickheads online.
Pause.
Yes.
Do you think they're blameless?
In this particular scenario, I wouldn't say blameless. There's always contributing factors. But what I'm saying is, they reported on a story, and from what I read when I first read about it, they didn't say that she had done this. This is all alleged.
That's the right word.
And they provided pictures, which I suppose is a bit controlling or manipulative to the story, because it makes it seem, okay, she's done a madness, knocked my man out with a lamp, look how much blood there is. And then from that point, what I started to see on Twitter is, if it was a man that did that, people then wanted to troll and go off that narrative, rather than just saying, we don't know the facts, let it go to trial, and then whatever happens from that point happens from that point. People are too fast. Everyone's too fast.
I don't think the media. My bad to cut you off, but I don't think the media are ever blameless because.
They're the devil.
Oh yeah, literally. That's
literally the devil.
For me, like I think I said it a couple episodes ago. Their job is to ruin people's lives for like to get views and clicks and stuff like that. Because fair enough, you're gonna report on something. Report on it. They reported the Caroline Flack thing, but next day reporting on it again.
And that is
next
what
day
I was about
reporting
to
it
say.
again. Next day reporting it again. More news will come out. This and that. Like how much time do you need to come and talk about this woman's life? You know, you reported the first thing, let it go to trial, then
report the outcome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Done. But you literally just harassing the woman. This happened, that's happened.
But they'll see it as following the story.
Yeah, I know, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like that's their job apparently. I think we as people need to look into what it really is the media job, especially when you're out here putting out things that ain't 100% true and things like that. Like people can't be doing that because again, you're ruining people's lives. And you're actually going out there to like how you getting pictures of the room. You're digging for that. You're not just boom, I got this. You're digging for that. You know what I mean? So I've always said from day all the media, the Sun, the newspapers there.
The Sun and the Daily Mail are the wickedest.
The worst thing is they're the first people to report on the death and be like R.I.P. and this. No, I'm gonna get angry.
He's about to get mad.
There's a lack of accountability for the media. So anyone who works as a journalist can say whatever they want, and then when there's a bit of a backlash, they'll put this very fine print. I think it was mentioned before in a previous pod. A very small print statement in which you're like, on February the 1st, we put out this, and there was some inconsistencies and blah 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 blah. But no one's gonna read that. It's too late now. You've already thrown out the sensationalized statements and all of this rubbish. And that's the problem, I suppose, with the media because
there was one newspaper that actually removed the article.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
What, following her death?
Pretty sure.
But that's what people are doing now. You see, this is exactly what people are doing now because everybody is shocked. Nobody saw it coming, and nobody wants the fingers pointed at them as to the role that they played in this woman's demise and her suicide. Nobody wants that.
In terms of no one saw it coming.
Did you see her suicide? Because you were the one that sent me the link saying that she died.
I said that. I sent you whatever, but it's not too surprising, as bad as that sounds, in terms of this was her big thing. She'd had this show for X amount of years. It kind of not defined her as such, but it was. You think of Caroline Flack, you think of Love Island. A certain situation happened. You've now taken that away from her. She's now the big name on social media. She's getting abuse. There's only so much someone can take. To a certain extent.
But this is where we go into a broader conversation about mental health as a whole. Because if you don't know, I am a psychotherapist, and day in, day out, this is what I deal with, and I'm very much frontline. I'm the first port of call when somebody feels as though they might be in crisis, or they're not, or things are shit, or they're anxious, and whatever it might be. And one of the things that I have realised in my exposure to people is that in this modern day and time, I feel that people lack resilience these days. I think that is one of the biggest issues when it comes to mental health in terms of being resilient, especially with the younger people. So I know Caroline Flack is for it, and I know she's a bigger person, so that's slightly different, but especially when it comes to our young people, I feel as though there's a generation of kind of parents that have failed in equipping their children to bounce back and to be resilient. There's this expectation that the immediate gratification, social media plays its role of what we want and what we desire and da-da-da-da-da. And I get all of that. I'm part of that too. I look at social media and I think, I can't wait to get that house, or da-da-da-da-da, I'm working to whatever. But there's this mindset with the young people for sure that it's easy come, easy go, life is easy, and they're just completely ill-equipped to deal with the harsh realities of life. Nobody said ever in the history of man that life was easy. Nobody ever said that, and nobody ever said that you're just going to be smooth sailing along the way and things like that. No, shit's going to happen. Shit can get super real, super quick, and it's that question of sink or swim. That is it, sink or swim. So it was a surprise to me that actually she killed herself, because although there was so much happening for her, I don't know her. You know, I don't know her, but there was so much happening. But I also know that as much as she had so much abuse and trialing and all this negative shit, she also had an abundant amount of people around her supporting her. So it was still, it was a shock to me. But I feel like people lack resilience. I feel like you were with me though, because I want to be
nowadays, 100%, people definitely lack it. But on top of that, I think people also lack remorse because like I think I'd say a lot of people don't only really care about mental health when something happens. Yeah, honestly, like
100%.
Not to go off topic, but you go to football players, like general people want to act like people aren't real.
Yeah,
like Granny Xhaka, when I've seen the tweets saying, "Hope you get cancer, hope your wife get cancer, hope your daughter dies." All of this and that. No, if he went and turned around and boom, killed himself, guaranteed there's some same people. He was a good player.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to him. You know what I'm saying? People don't care and people don't think. That I see the same people have mental health advocate in their name, but the first time there's any mix up on Twitter, they're the first people retweeting it and laughing at man and doing all this. You know what I mean? Like this is what I say. People use it as a trend, and that's bad. That's bad.
I think that's the
bad. It's people's lives.
As a trend is a massive
people's
thing.
lives. Like I see even people acting depressed as because it's trendy. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm going through this and that, and you're not. You're just using it just for likes and retweets, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me how people are doing that.
But that's the whole thing now. So you've got the two sides of the coins in which people want to get stuff out for retweets and likes, or some people have no other outlet but to go on there, and it's hard to kind of filter through the bullshit.
Who's real, who's not, who's stuff, and who's actually just on some bullshit just for some likes and retweets.
That's the problem.
What I'm saying?
That's
what I'm saying. This is the big problem.
But is there really apart from getting rid of social media as such, which you can't do now, it's impossible.
It's never gonna happen.
It's about policing it. But are they really gonna police it when it's such a big cog? It earns as much money. It's a FTSE 100. It's a massive company. Isn't it too far gone now? I don't think it would be too hard to start verifying everyone's account by identification, and I think that would stop a lot of problems because the people that do know these, they're cowards. That's the only reason you're doing it. 1,000,000%.
A lot of them, they ain't got no picture on. They got some next picture on of some cartoon character or some fuckery, and then you're coming online and you're talking all this shit. You're saying all this, but in real life, you're a waste man.
Yeah.
Or a waste man.
I had to catch that one.
For real though.
But a lot of them are young as well.
And that as well.
Like they're 12
I
or whatever.
suppose there's a lot of conversation, and again, I can't help but come from a psychological perspective. I literally can't help it. What is happening with that person for them to feel like that's what they should do or need to do or have the desire to do, that in order to try and tear somebody down or to do, like, there's trends, there's trends, and I get that and I know that, but there are those people that it's not about the trend. There's a account that I follow on Instagram, and I always talk about it because I love it to bits, Mrs. Hinch. I'm gonna hinch this, hinch that, and if you know, you know. And she had this woman, she minds her business. She comes online, she cleans her yard, she does her business, she talks about cleaning products. That's what she's about. No fuss, no faff, no shit. And she's getting messages into her private account saying that her youth spotters, her child's ugly. What is even if that person really believed that her child is ugly, you could have just thought that and shut your mouth and be done with it. Why do you feel like you need to tear somebody else? That's a problem with that individual, and I think that's a conversation.
Going on to that, that's the exact same thing. Evelyn had a problem where someone said she was like a dog or some shit like that, and she was like on Instagram live, and she was crying about it. She was like upset about it. And she's like, I'm not upset about what you're saying because I don't really give a shit. Everyone got their freedom of speech, but why is that your freedom of speech? Like, why do you feel the need to message me and say that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't understand why. Like, what are you doing in your day that makes you go on there
and spew venom?
And like send someone a DM that you don't know and say, okay, then you
look like a dog, or you
Charles
I've
got nothing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. Like,
it definitely speaks more about the person who's obviously sending whatever.
Yeah,
but in this day and age where it's so easy to access people now, especially when the celebrity culture is what it is now, it's very easy for me to send a DM to, I don't know, someone who I thought I would never ever see, or blah. People will now try and take advantage of that because people are attention seekers. Social media is about attention seeking and awareness. So whether it's your brand, whether it's you personally wanting to get out there, people want to be heard and seen. That's the problem. So people will do whatever they can to be seen, whether it be spew some vile shit or whether it be try to be funny. I know people, when I say I know people, I see people that are on Twitter now that will see a trending topic, won't necessarily know anything about that trending topic, do research on said trending topic to then tweet about the said topic when it don't mean nothing to you. You don't care about it. You just want to get likes, retweets, and followers. You're dumb, fam. Like you're done out here, because if that's really what motivates you, you're not done out here. I feel sorry for you, actually, more than anything else. Because, yeah, people want to get attention and people get value from such things, but there's more to the world than that. And I think people are a bit blindsided because social media is social media.
And that's what I keep saying. That's why I love and hate social media at the same time, because it gives me a lot of joke. But I see things on there where I just think, like, what are you doing with your life? You on here talking this shit. Like, I've seen it on 2 occasions. Someone tweeted crept. Some girl tweeted crept and said, "Oh, you're butters. How did you get this girl?" And he tweeted her back and said, like, "I know butters, but so are you." You know what I'm saying? And then I've clicked on the thread, and she said, "Oh my God, he tweeted me back. I was joking. I think you paying."
No, you
said,
tried
like,
to clown.
I'm your biggest fan. This and that. And I've seen someone else do it with Tiana Taylor.
I've seen that.
Someone said, "Oh, if she didn't have a nice body, she'll look like a this and that." And
Really?
and she replied, "But I have." Body.
She's so pain.
And
She's so pain.
she tweeted back, "But you've got nothing." And then same person, "Oh, I'm your biggest fan now. He's joking." And I was like, what are you doing with your life?
But
you know what I'm saying?
You see it on Twitter quite a lot. What's the term? Baiting.
Yeah,
baiting
yeah,
people
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because I'll see that kind of fish hook thing,
Yeah.
and people just throw out stuff that they don't even mean. It's not in their heart to say it, but as long as I get a nibble or I get a bite, that's cool. I'll deny everything that I said. Now we're interacting now, so that's cool. That's what I wanted.
Bizarre.
Your waist, man, or woman.
Bizarre behaviour. Very bizarre behaviour. I don't know. For me, it's also alien because I am very chill on it. Like, I see things on social media. I'm not going to lie. For the most part, I have social media to post up so I can get some gratification so people can reinforce that I'm so peng. Like, that's it. I post a selfie, I feel good. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm feeling myself. You can tell me to. That's me and social media. And if, like, I'll look at random stuff, like, oh, this place in Bali, this house, because I want to travel. That's me, social media, done. This whole do this for this and do this for clout and blah 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 blah. I've got a job. I've got a lot of things to do in my day. I need to clean my toilet. Do you know what I mean? I need to do the food shopping. I need to polish. Like, I've got things to do like that. So it's just bizarre. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. No, the thing is, you want to come clean with me. You said breathe. So for me, I just feel like it's
on social media are not doing these things.
Evidently, your house nasty. Your toilet nasty.
But some of these people are doing these things. They are the normal person, the Jack the lad that you see on the street or you work with and you're having banter with. But then when they get home and they've got a few minutes to themselves, it's not very hard to go from one account to another.
Oh, of course.
Let me look onto my trolling account and start just spewing out evil shit. Oh, back to my normal account where I'm Jack, who works as a finance advisor.
He went over the story and he created the whole thing.
You just don't know what people are on these days, and you don't know what people are.
That means you got 2 accounts on it.
But if you're coming home, if you're coming home from a long day of work,
and that's what you feel,
and you want to sit down and put on your feet and log into your next account to talk some shit, you got issues for that. You got issues for that, like, for real. But that is social media now, and that seems to be the norm. That seems to be the norm, innit?
I feel like it's going to be very interesting moving forward what's going to be happening in terms of they're calling for Caroline's Law and all this business. I'm not 100%, I only spied it like quickly. I think it's something to do with regulating newspapers or something of that nature. It's going to be very interesting to see the response moving forward of that. You don't feel like anything's going to happen
because there was a case. I started reading about this person in South Korea, Sully or something like that. She was a K-pop artist who it was very similar in terms of the story, in which she was getting loads of abuse online. She was complaining about it. She hung herself in a house.
Mad.
there was then all of this stuff about there needs to be regulations, there needs to be all of this. They were trying to develop a law for it. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do it. The only thing that can be done now, in my opinion, is just to openly discuss that there are some scumbags out there in this world. And if you're really, especially when a child, all they want to do is have their name up in lights and they want to be a celebrity, that comes with its own backlash. It comes with its own negativity, rather than just thinking about the money and the fame and stuff like that. You proper need to be tough skinned for this thing.
Serious.
So when you ask people what they want to do when they grow up, okay, I want to be a singer. Okay, are you aware of what that looks like for you? I don't know when you do that or how you do it, but you need to make sure that the people that are striving for certain things are fully aware of the negative side that comes with it, because it's horrible. I can't imagine getting messages all the time. I think I'm tough skinned based on certain things that I've been through in my life.
You're a crocodile.
Fully.
Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do.
Are we still filming or?
Of course. I just wanted to mash you up.
Can I put with the clap music?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I believe that I'm at a point in my life that, if you want to say whatever you want to say about me, come then. It's whatever in it.
Going on to that, not to cut you off. Literally, that was going to be my topic. I was going to ask if we had millions of followers. I think we're all strong. How would you deal with?
Ignore it. I'm not even investing my blood. Oh god. I'm not even investing my time, because at the end of the day, you hate if you can spin it and think raw. Just like you said, you are so sad with your day that you want to throw me, who is successful, who's got my name out in lights and whatever, you want to throw shade at me or throw hate at me. It's more to do with you than it is to me. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to ignore it. Occasionally, you know what I'll probably do? Just retweet it. There's a lot of racism on Twitter that I can see, especially like a successful black man or woman. People patrolling an account will just throw any kind of trash. I'll retweet it. I'll just leave it and see what happens to them after that, innit? But just ignore it. You have to ignore the and get the words out. You got to ignore the negativity, because if you don't, it will consume you whether you like it or not. You can't just take it all in and think, I'm not going to do anything about it. It'll fuck your shit up. So just ignore it.
How would you handle it?
I'm pretty blasé. I get angry though. So sometimes I can be, I can just respond, but I don't feel as though I'd feel too tough. Like I don't think I would take it on board. However, if someone was to touch on an insecurity that I personally have, like let's say, I don't know, let's say I didn't like my eyebrows, let's just say that, the penguin, let's say, and somebody were to at me about something that I'm insecure about, so in this example, my eyebrows, whatever.
You need to friend yourself. No? Right?
No, that's Mills. Talk to your friend, because
coming from the shark lady. Cool. Don't even whip that back out.
So the thing is, my name's Shark, sweetheart. So the every time.
You don't think that this might get mad?
No, don't get mad. But I feel like unless they were coming for me, that's something that I personally felt a type of way about, I'd be able to brush it off. But if they got personal and were talking about like my mum
or kids,
then I would, not even knowing that person is a waste cadet, knowing that they are literally not worth the time, I don't know if I could confidently say 100%. I'd just be like, and gone again without
I think
responding.
with you, it would depend how much time you've got in the day. Because if you had a good 2 hours free, you would be.
But there's only so much you got.
Everybody, suck your mother.
But then, you can suck your mother to everyone. But what's the point?
No, but I say she. You can't have time. I mean, if I had time.
Who am I? Don't.
Who are you?
This is not Limoka.
No, man. But,
it's not Limoka.
What?
Slow it.
But unless you're telling someone straight up, yo, buck me, X, Y, and Z, come meet me.
Buck me in the end, you know.
But there's no point, because all you're doing is just the cycle continues of all this bullshit, isn't it? I don't see the point.
I would say have account on private, but I know people that honestly, I know people that follow celebrities and this them. Like, why are you following someone? I swear, like, for instance, Ja Rule. When Ja Rule tweets, go on Ja Rule's tweets. Just open, open it. I guarantee you, at least 1 or 2 people will say something about Fire Festival.
Because the thing is, I was gonna say,
you do deserve a bit of corn for that.
Nah, that was.
But I'm saying it was how long ago? Fair enough. But I'm saying
but
every single time.
No,
come
because
on,
that's
man.
But it's also cut from a different cloth. That doesn't.
Imagine.
Oh, she did that on purpose.
I actually did that. But imagine. Sorry to cut your team. But imagine you spend your good money to go to the festival, and the man said he's giving you the lap of luxury. He give you some rice and bread.
Just to put it out there, he was found not guilty of neither.
He was guilty.
No, he was
and the
I'm
other
just
thing
saying
is that I
something.
got found not guilty, then went back for the said thing.
No, he got locked up, didn't he?
No, after for the next one.
Oh yeah.
You really caught that? I said, oh.
No, I remember stuff. Well, we're moving on. We're getting away off topic, and
Yeah.
But now, like, I've seen people do that. Like, you go on Floyd Mayweather's Instagram. I think he's turned off his comments now, but if his comments are on, you just got like thousands of people saying no, but you can't read. He don't care.
He can't read.
He's rich. He's filthy rich.
He can't read.
Apparently no.
But also, if they're commenting that, he also
Can't read it. Oh my absolute. You're going to purgatory?
No, middle ground.
The thing is, I'd be sending him voice notes and telling him where I live because he took that girl all the way out of Dudley and I need a holiday. So I need one piece of break. So hit me up, Floyd. I don't care if you can read or not. I'll sign. I don't give a shit.
But these are people, again, Ja Rule, Floyd Mayweather, they're cut from a different cloth. They don't read. Ja Rule, you think he sees tweets like that?
It's murder.
They care. It's murder. No. He don't care about none of that stuff. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I genuinely, me as well. I don't think I would care. I'm already on Twitter now, and I see some folk, I just block him. I just block the person. I don't waste time.
What, make an account on that?
Bare accounts are just trying.
I blocked you on Snapchat.
Oh. No, that dickhead. Firstly, why did you block me? No, because you wanted to put it out there. Why did you block me?
Because you're pissing me off.
Why was I pissing you off?
Because you sent me fuckery.
No, I wasn't sending you fuckery because my mouth is slick. That's what pisses you off because I'm funny.
Wait,
this is why.
No, it was WhatsApp.
You blocked me on WhatsApp and Snapchat, and then come back and say, "Why can't I see your stories?" You blocked me.
Back on task, man.
No, but WhatsApp. I admit it. You're sending me fuckery on WhatsApp.
What fuckery?
You can't. I mean.
You know what?
Are you gonna edit? I'm gonna edit that half the thing, bro.
Nah, for real though.
No.
On WhatsApp, when I blocked you, you sent me fuckery.
We're gonna have to look at this.
I even said, if you send me that, I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you.
What was it?
And you were like,
block you, you know.
I'm not gonna say it on the pod. I'm not gonna say it on the pod.
I'll finish later.
I'm not gonna say it on the pod, but remember I said to you, if you send me that, I'm gonna block you. And and then I said to you, then you said to me, how long are you gonna block me for? If it's 2 hours, I'm gonna send it. And let's move on anyway.
Oh Lord.
Everyone calm down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm saying calm them down.
Leave me at that. In all seriousness, RIP Caroline Flack, innit?
Amen.
No, for
real.
Yeah.
For real.
All you people on social media that
go find something
talking shit and now saying RIP, what you like, innit?
Waste.
And also, just to add, there are always things or tools that you can use if you're feeling a type of way. I don't know, like what they call, like Samaritans or what have you. If you're feeling a type of way.
1, 2, 3.
Say
that again, please.
116, 1, 2, 3.
Boom. Like, there is always someone there that will be willing to listen to whatever problems that you've got. Like, the solution, as bad as everything is, the solution is never that.
Yeah, I want to second that because, like I said, in doing what I do, for the most part, I see people come and I see them when they're at their lowest, or they feel that they're at their lowest, and there's no moving forward, there's no hope, and I have a difficult job in trying to instill hope in what seems to them as a hopeless situation. But one of the things I will say is that recovery is there. It happens day in, day out. There are people like myself who we strive for that. We don't do this because we ain't got anything better to do. We don't do this because we want to hear the nitty-gritty and the details. We do this because we're here. We do this because we care. And it's doable, it's achievable, because if it weren't, I would never job. So there is always somebody that you can reach out to. And like I said, for real, I champion the Samaritans all the time for just that person to offload to when you need to. So yeah.
Checking on your brethren, sorry, like, that's another thing.
I don't like you though.
You don't need to.
Huh?
Stop it. But, like, if you are concerned about someone, whether it be a family member or friend, it can just be a message. Like, literally, how are you? Like, I'm just checking in on you. And you don't know what response you'll get. Just checking on your people, man. Don't wait for it to be too late, because we were saying this about, like, Kobe a couple of weeks ago, in which, make sure you do all of that stuff as a day-to-day thing. Check on the people that you care about and love. And that's, yeah.
Tell me you love me then.
We'll talk. I'm at but nah, big and serious.
I'm sorry. Go on. Oh, I love you. Go on. That's cool.
Alright, cancelled. Go on.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Mills! Imagine.
Okay then, David. How was it on Valentine's Day? Convex now.
Lonely? Yours? Like.
I went gym. I got a trim. Yeah, I went gym. I got a trim.
I went to see Kano in it, so I was gassed.
So you had the best Valentine's Day out of all of us.
It was Kano Day, fam. That's it.
But Carla, you
got
think why the fuck that?
Because she proper hates Kano.
And he proper literally wants to touch his skin. It's just bizarre.
My
Look
guy.
at him. Oh, I've got my hand in my boots.
Didn't you do?
Can hear
You drink whiskey, that's the maddest thing. You drink JD. He fully does.
Carla, I mean.
Sorry, go on. What do you want to know? No, because I'm sick and tired of you, that man.
Oh, Lord.
Pat. Did you do anything for Galentines Day?
For what?
Galentines Day?
No, what is that now?
Is well.
What?
I'm explaining.
No, because say it again.
I said it's and there's a
no, but what's it called?
Galentines Day.
Gallon. Like a gallon of milk.
As in gal, guys and gals.
Oh, don't do that. Okay. And yeah, gallon of milk. Right.
But apparently it's when, well, from what I've seen on internet, it's from when the single women, they link up and they
I got man. No, because you're great putting it out there. I'm single and love.
You just said you didn't
apply with him.
You said it better.
My man could have been working away.
Okay, but he's not. But no, obviously.
Nah.
No, okay then, but can I explain what?
Go on. Yeah.
Are you okay?
No, I don't love you.
Said elephant juice.
No, you didn't say elephant juice. Say what you're saying. Okay, man. I literally will hurt you.
Galentines Day is when single women, they link up together and then they just have a good time together. I'm the
only one that's single. No. What are you making noises for?
Oh yeah, that's what Galentine's Day is. So you didn't know for Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day?
T, is this geezer rubbing salt in the
No.
I went to my bed. I had a shower. I cleaned my skin with expensive stuff from the body shop. Yeah, I did. And I cut my toenails. That's what I did. And I got in my bed. And you know what I did? I went to the shop and I bought a miniatures of Ray and Nephews. And I drank it with Diet Coke because I'm on slimming mode. It's mad. And I had eyes. That's what I did. You got no manners. You got no single manners. So Valentine's and Galentine,
Moving on.
No, you got no manners.
On Saturday we all went to at a part of the team. Went to DJ Silk's Valentine brunch.
As a part of the team, I don't like him.
We were there together though.
No, I went. I booked you.
We were there together.
And then he came after and booked me. So
we were there together. But yeah, we went to DJ Silk's Valentine brunch. How was it? I thought
it was live. I thought it was absolutely live. Like I think they've released enough one for the 6th of March already.
Something like that.
And I'm if I'm not in Spain, then I'm in ends because it was absolutely live. Like I was shaking my foot. My back piece did twist out the next day though because I didn't. No, hold on. If your man didn't come home, I did wine on him. I didn't want you anymore. I'm joking.
I'm not. I don't know.
No, but I did. I was stepping hard, and I thought it was good. I would definitely 100% do it again. 100%.
Vibes.
Yeah,
Music, good. I was complaining for a little bit.
Why? Yeah.
The liquor hit me in it.
What did it?
Okay.
Did it?
All right. Let's try. Hold that.
Yeah, you hold your liquor. That's what you need to do about hold that.
I hold it down. But I was expecting a whole night of R&B because that's what I was told.
Who told you that?
I don't know. One of you lot.
No. Let's go back to the drawing board. Who told you that? Because I've never been. So who told you that?
Who told me then? So it must have been you.
Exactly.
I didn't say-
Of course it was you.
I didn't say it was just R&B.
Okay.
You alluded to.
You know.
I said,
You know what? It don't even matter
the
because
thing is, on the thing it says R&B, old school garage.
I didn't check that.
It
I
says
didn't say
it.
that.
I followed the advice of my friend Mills.
I did not say to it, it's just R&B. I did not say
yeah,
that.
my
Not once I
fault.
say that.
It don't even matter.
You just like the sun.
You're
The
coercive.
media.
Don't call me that. You're coercive and control.
But,
Daily
The
man.
music was a vibe anyway.
I guess not.
There was a no, because I was getting back on task. The music was a vibe, consistent. I was liquored, and I was happy, man. I was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, it's the third one I've been to. Speak up DJ Silk in it for putting on these events.
Most definitely.
Because-
Did you know? I thought it was black or mixed rice. Sorry.
My brother said anything.
I literally thought it was mixed rice, and I used to see him all the time in Coco.
Yeah.
So the lighting was doing all the bits. But I'm not gonna lie though, kind of cute.
But nah,
Just saying.
for real,
Just saying. It's kind of cute.
When it's just obviously liquor, good vibes.
Brand new beats.
The music is just obviously 10-10 when you got the old school R&B music.
And your team.
It's all gonna be on the team, of course. It's all gonna be a good
Yeah,
night.
you
innit?
forget- you see, I
All gonna
forgot
be
You
about
good.
forgot
what?
about bucking people. So what are you talking about?
Thank you,
But do you know-
thank you.
I came. He put
Can
me.
we big up the thing?
Yeah.
Big
Sorry.
up DJ Silk for putting on a good event. And
Big up you, Silk.
Absolutely.
like I said, when it's good music, good liquor, good people around you, it's all gonna be a vibe in it. So
100%.
just big up yourself. Keep doing that. Keep putting them on. I'll keep going.
I want to be a VIP.
So I used to travel up for Rococo back in the day as well.
Just
I am
Sundays as
always
well.
pissed
Like I
about
didn't
that.
have work on Monday.
Always I'm pissed about Rococo
that's what I'm
every
saying.
single time.
I've been a fan of Silk from them days because you
Literally.
used to shut down. You used to
Absolutely.
shut down Rococo. Yeah.
Every Sunday, I go into
So-
uni the next day, mash up. But it was a good night. It was worth it.
Yeah.
That's why I just about scraped for my degree. But we'll move on. The first one.
But yeah, closing out. Big up DJ Silk. Keep doing your
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah.
Keep putting on them events, and we'll keep going, man. So shout out you in it. On to Love Island.
I thought you were going to say thunderclap. Okay, you putting me down. you putting me down. Love Island, the island. I'm going to say this now because I literally want her to fall over in the pool of life. I don't like her, Natalia. She thinks she's slick. I'm going to tell you now, I like you. And do you like yourself though, honey? Because you're trying to haul yourself out for the pee and you're not going to get there. You're not going to win. Nobody's going to vote for you.
Apparently she's got a man on the outside. Again though, I've seen this on Twitter, so I don't know how true it is. But apparently she's got a man. But it wouldn't have surprised me the way she's moving. It wouldn't have surprised me if she had a man. Because it looks like she's fully just gone in there to get a few followers and get a deal with Pretty Little Thing.
Pretty little thing.
But honestly, 'cause she's talking about she likes Luke. She got ick after 2 days of him doing nothing.
Literally nothing, not a thing.
And then she's with, I don't know his name. Jamie? Is it?
I think that's his name. There's
I'm not
so
gonna
many
lie,
factors.
I've gone off it.
Yeah.
I've gone back to her now.
Have ya?
I'm not gonna go off
Why
it.
do you think?
I don't really know. Honestly.
Ooh, this
think-
is it. Like, there's only like a
I
week
think-
left.
They've tried to condense it too much.
I think people,
Yeah.
and there's people that start to irritate me.
Who's irritating now?
Her.
Oh, do you know what? I'm finished.
I don't know. I've literally gone off it. Like, I watched last episode. I watched like 5 minutes. I thought, oh.
Well, the thing is, it's moving in a nice direction in terms of Paige and Finn are like down, and I was very happy about that. I was sending initially for Luke Black because I always forget their initials, and I was thinking, I think he's a bit cocky and he's a bit arrogant. But to be fair, he has grown on me a lot, like black mold. Oh, it's funny because he's black, but I just realised. But he's grown on me a lot.
They might win.
Him and Chinese.
The little stunt he pulled for her.
Like the little journey.
The little.
Would you do that for a girl?
Please, what happened?
He
What's it?
he was gonna ask. Wanted to ask Shanice to be his girlfriend, But obviously, because you know from the first episode where she said she wanted to be a Disney princess and she called Nat Aladdin.
Oh yeah.
This shit. He done some little quest. For
Dumb blood.
He made a little crown for her, put it on. Chat to answer a few questions and shit like that. It was nice to be fair. You get the fair play.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was.
It was nice. Like, you're out here doing the right things.
You're only doing that because you're on TV though.
It don't matter. You could have just said, yeah, but you could have just said, listen, I'm feeling
Let's do the thing.
Let's do that. But you didn't. You thought about whether or not you're on TV. You thought about the fact that she likes Disney, and you did that. You didn't have to do that.
You can't say whether it's not on TV or not because it is, and he would not have done that if it weren't on TV.
You can't say that.
Exactly.
I know what you're saying.
100%.
I know what you're saying.
Hold that
obviously, you can easily say that people are catering for the cameras, and 100%. But in the 40 minutes I did watch of this episode, did you see when Mike tapped Priscilla's head?
The thing is, now she did good.
I like her so much after that.
No, because did you see the conversation that she had? Because the thing is, and she signed off nice, and she was like, "It can never happen again, never." And I was like, "Yes, Nubian Queen," because tell the man for me. Because when he did it, I thought, "You fucked it here." Because if that was me, I would have looked at you, and them times you would have known everything mashed up. I would have given you one look like, okay.
I remember when I was working.
When you used to sit in the government yard in Cheshire. Well,
stop it. When I was working for O2, I was serving a customer, some elderly couple in it. So I'd served them, sorted them out their phone, took them around, set up their phone and everything. And then the guy was like, "Oh, thanks very much." So as I'm getting up, just like kind of say, "If you need any help, obviously come to me," and shake his hand. He's got up and patted me on the head. So I'm like, you know, when you're so stunned, so shocked, it's like, "You what?" He's like, "What?" The wife's like, horrified, like, "What are you doing?" These times now, I'm now adding up everything that's happened. Then I'm getting raging in it. I'm getting so mad. And he's like, "I just wanted to thank him." I just wanted to thank him. So my manager came out of nowhere. He said, "What's going on here?" I was just like, this guy here is just basically fucking patting me on the head. She's trying to apologise. He's just said, "Tommy, go into the back." I'm not going into the back. So like, but yeah, he had a conversation with the guy. He tried to apologise, and I just think that I will never forget that point. Like fucking, I will never forget it. Like
my mouth's been open the whole time. Like that's the thing that
Stoke-on-Trent, no.
That wouldn't work. The thing is, even a pat on the even that's a bit like, but it's better.
Yeah.
It's much better than patting me on my. Which part did it look like, dog? Where do I look
no,
like
but
a dog?
not on the pat. Did you call it a donkey?
He said, what was this that he said, there, now, donkey, or something like that. It was something to do with like Shrek or something from show. And I was like, the thing is, but she handled it like a boss, and she told him. And the thing is, and this is what I love, and this is why sometimes you guys, you get yourselves into some situations and then you realise the type of woman that you're dealing with. Because he came to apologise for her feeling some type of way, and she called him and she was like, "But what are you apologising? Mm-hmm. What do I feel? Because you're just saying I'm sorry." And I rate her for that, because sometimes people will just say, "I apologise, you feeling some type of way." No. Let's get to the crux of the biscuit. What he did was patronising, and it was embarrassing. I don't play that. And she called him out. And the thing is, I could see him like, but I feel like he rated her more for that as well. Like you have to. And I was like, "Good, you're frig, you."
But the thing is, they can never win because of him.
He's just a. Did you see the challenges? Mike and Priscilla, because he's a sleaze, everything special connection. What are you, Bluetooth Central? Like everything connect. I can't do it. I don't even think, and the thing is, extra twerk, you know. Look, that's your brother, you know. But, that's you. That's your man.
Everything was coming out in them challenges.
Who's gonna cheat pan who?
And like, kind of money. That was like, rah. But yeah. I am going, I think, but I will still watch it.
Of course, we're getting to the end now, so it's about who wins. Who do you think will win now? We've got Shawnice and Luke now coupled up. Proper.
I think.
And Paige and Finlay.
I would still pick Paige and Finlay, but I think the public are going to pick Black Luke and Shawnice.
I'm going to call him Luke. That's weird. But because I can't remember if it's T. Is he T? Luke T. Is he Luke T? So who do you think's gonna win?
Shawnice. In terms of following the story and wanting someone to win, people are going to do the same thing like last year in which they wanted Amber to win. Amber's fire.
she don't want you.
Yeah.
She don't.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. So I think that remember you don't love me, and there's no love lost.
There's a reason.
No, shut up. What
Okay,
the
okay.
fuck? Are you mad?
No, he said that he loved you.
I did.
No, shut what?
But I
Why are you
lied.
doing that? Okay, you see it there.
It's on camera. He
No,
said that he
it's
loved you.
not.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
You look confused.
Because I am.
Because you took shit.
How?
I feel like. Well.
God, who do you think is going to win, Carla?
I don't know. Tommy. Because I was about to.
Oh, my days.
The thing
No.
is-
No,
Mills, I swear.
I did not mean
I was
that.
about. I'm hopeful that Paige and Finn win. That's what I'm hopeful for. But we'll see. It's in the next week. But yeah, we'll see. I'm down like a funky clown around the town.
Okay.
Pound for pound.
Okay.
Okay, check it out. It's Santa.
And okay, that's definitely enough for today's episode.
Them ones there.
We're gonna get to our song of the week, so head over to our Twitter for that. And again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll be back next week. Much love.